Hello and welcome to Ginger Engineering. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make an autonomous program for your robot using EasyC, V4, or V5. So after you've opened up your program, you're going to go ahead and, well, let me specify first. This is actually a continuation from my last video on how to make a basic operator control program. I'm assuming that you already know how to do this, and I will be showing you how to do the autonomous program off of this. Okay, so what you're going to do is go up to your autonomous program tab, and let me first explain that the difference between operator control and autonomous obviously is that operator control, you're controlling the robot, and autonomous is running by itself. So with this in mind, each motor actually has to be programmed separately, so there's no block where you program all 4 of your drive motors. So first thing we're going to do is come over to Outputs, drop down menu, click and drag over motor module. And you do one of these for every motor that you're setting. And the motor module, what it is basically just, it's saying start this motor in the program. So we have motor number here. When we drop that down, this is just selecting which motor you want to, run. So we'll say left drive. Now right here, this is the direction. So default is counterclockwise. After you've ran your program once, you can come back and figure out which directions you actually need it to go, or you can just look at your motor and figure it out beforehand for the program. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it on counterclockwise. And then down here for user value, this is just how you would set a lower output power for your motor. So if you want it to move slower, you can just come down here and say like 100. I'm just going to leave it at the max power for now, and then just make sure you do your comments. So left drive. And then OK. And this right here has initiated your left drive motor. I'm going to do the same thing for my right drive motor. Select that. Most of the time, they're going to be opposite directions unless your wires are flipped. But in most cases, you're going to have the opposite sides of wheels be different directions. So I'm going to put that as clockwise and just write the comment as right drive. Okay, now this is just initiating the motors. It's not actually specifying how long to go. So what we do next is specify that. We want to tell the program how long we want those motors to run. So we come up here, and I'm just going to leave it as at 1,000 right now. This is in milliseconds, so 1,000 milliseconds. And then what is this chunk of program doing? This is what you're going to write in the comment. So for me, it's going to be drive forward. Once again, I just want to bring attention to commenting. It's very important. You should always do it as much as you can. All right, so we've got drive forward here. Now, when we run this program, what it's going to do is it's going to run these 2 motors, and it's going to drive forever or until the battery dies or you turn it off. So even though we've set it to run 1,000 milliseconds, it's not going to stop. So to make it stop, what we do is come back over to Outputs. There's 2 ways to do this. I'm going to show you both. So you can either come back to Outputs, select a motor module, drop it below the weight, and you're going to specify which motor you want to stop. So we'll start with left drive, and then you just select the stop. And then you don't necessarily have to write comments on everything because some things are pretty obvious, but still, stop, left drive. It's nice to have comments so you know exactly what's happening. All right, now the left drive is going to stop if we have this here, and we need 1 more for the right drive. And you don't always have to drag over new blocks every time you want a block, though. So this is the other way. You can just, well, a lot of what programming is just copying and pasting code. So you can just select and copy that block right there, paste it below here, select it to stop, and just put in the rest of that comment. And there we go. This chunk of code is going to run the 2-motor drive forward for 1,000 milliseconds and stop. And that's it. Now the same thing, it's the same concept for every other motor. If you want to make your arm go for, you want to make your arm turn around or something, you just come up here, select the motor you want it to be, select the direction, and then you're going to say arm, Once again, a timer, you can just copy and paste, open it up, make sure you change your comments. So arm, let's say lift, so it's lifting up. All right, and then you can just paste in that arm again, stop, and write in stop arm. Okay, now that's a program that will first run through a drive forward, then those will stop, and then it'll continue on and run the arm. Now, after it runs, there's no pause between this. It's just going to run straight through. But if you, let's say you wanted there to be a little pause between those two actions happening, you just come back up here to program flow, and you can put a wait right in between those last stops and the initiating of the arm, and you can just set it for however long you want it to be, and you can just say stop or wait. And sometimes we use this in programming just to give the robot a second to kind of reset. You might think that that's not a real important thing, or you don't know when that would ever be necessary, but it actually happens a lot. So you've got that, and that's a basic autonomous. You can go on and just keep programming things to make it do several actions for your 15-second autonomous period, and there you go.